Going live with a little Sunday surprise. Sunday surprise. All right. What's up, Gabriella? Carla? All right. Dean Lewis, have I ever contracted a demon or entity? Only when I come on here live. Only when I go live do I contract some demons or entities. It's a joke. No, I can't say that I have. Don't even know if such things exist. The goatee is returning. Yes, it is. It's coming back. What's up, OG Black, Kenneth, Gas Monkey, Carlos, Manute, Salvador Padlan, George, James. Where is Mr. T Bud at? I'm looking. Looking to see if he's in here. All right. So, what's cracking, everybody? What's cracking? Welcome to another surprise live. Didn't know if I was going to be called into work today or not. Somebody said they were going to step in for me. And didn't know if it was going to happen or not, or didn't know if he's going to stick around or not. Didn't know they were going to call me in, but they did not. So here I am. Waited till 9 o'clock because I had some things to do and stuff. And usually people are watching games and doing all that stuff. So I think right now most of these games are pretty much over. So we can go ahead and begin this. So what's cracking with everybody tonight? Did all of you see? Oh, Grayson's Fire merch. Thank you. Yeah, I got this from Gil, American Cholo. He gave it to me. He sent it to me some time ago. I wore it today when I did the North Hollywood shooting video, of which, did you guys see that video yet? Did you see the North Hollywood shooting video yet? Yeah, I remember that day too. Yes, indeed. That is the reason. Like I said, that was the whole kicker to that video, was to explain to you guys just exactly why all the cops are armed to the fucking teeth these days. Why they look like stormtroopers and all that shit. A lot of people don't really understand or don't really know the history of that. Before that North Hollywood shooting occurred, the cops just looked like Barney Fifes. They wore them polyester stretchy pants, the polyester shirts. They just had a 6-shooter. I remember a lot of cops when they still had the 6-shooter, the 38 special, the police special in their holster, or a 9mm Beretta, and or a Ruger. A lot of them even had Rugers. That was it. They had the Ithaca shotgun, of course, in the front seat. Now, you look at these cops and they're wearing cargo pants, those military grade cargo pants, And they look like straight military police. But that's the reason why. The reason why they dress that way, the reason why they have all this tactical gear and everything is because of that day. Those guys could have got away clean, man. But it's like I said, everything that could have gone wrong that night or that morning went wrong. And shit. No, I know they have pistols still, but they have more than that. They have more than just the pistols. They have all kinds of shit on them now. Yes, indeed. Yeah, I remember the LA riots very well as also. Geez, do I need to turn the notifications off on this messenger? Apparently I do. And I will. Off. This whole time this thing didn't go off at all. The minute I come on here and do a live, it wants to blow up with stuff I ain't really trying to hear. But yes, Dino Skino was cracking. Street Smart Square Guy, Linwood checking in, was cracking in Linwood. Not going to be on too long tonight. Only going to do a quick 30-minute because in the morning I have to get up and I got to meet with these people from the newspaper and finish the article they're doing on me. I got to get that early in the morning, so I got to go to bed here pretty soon. But I just wanted to check in with you guys and touch base and tell all of you thank you. Thank you for all the donations and everything that was sent to get the ghost hunting equipment. I understand a lot of people's concerns that they may have with this ghost hunting thing that I'm going to do. But trust and believe that I wouldn't put myself in a situation unless I knew all the facts and all the risks and everything involved in it. To this very day, I don't know of a single ghost hunter or paranormal investigator who has died strangely behind any of this stuff. I really do believe that, if you are strong spiritually and strong in your beliefs, whatever your beliefs may be, whether you're Christian, Muslim, Buddhist, whatever it is that your beliefs are, if you are strong in your beliefs, your spiritual foundation, your spiritual grounding, then you'll be fine in things like these. If you're not so confident or strong in your spiritual foundation, then of course you might have some problems. So Frankie, 2 times. As a matter of fact, I got to look at your message you just sent me on Instagram. I haven't really had time to really look at any of the messages that are on my Instagram. Last couple of days I've been running around because of all these work hours. But I've used a Ouija board. I remember my mother had a Ouija board because you got to remember the Ouija board came out, started to become really popular in the 1960s, and my mother, just like all the rest of the flower children, the hippies and stuff like that, they used to have at it with all that kind of stuff. The problem that I had with the Ouija board is that when we would sit down there and try to play it, I totally tell that my sister was moving the thing. You know what I mean? So I never did trust that Ouija board. Plus, how are you going to trust something that's put out by Hasbro? You know what I mean? Or Milton Bradley. It's like Milton Bradley and Hasbro put those boards out. They're not even like authentic. They're not even made with the right materials. If you're thinking about a righteous Ouija board, those things are not that you get out of Target or Walmart or someplace like that. They're not even real because they don't have all the components that are necessary in order to summons anything according to what the Ouija board was originally designed. It's got to be a certain kind of wood. It's got to be a certain kind of a looking glass in the center. The pointer needs to be made of a certain material and all that stuff. That shit's straight plastic and cardboard. It's not even real. So But anywho, yeah, they do go back thousands of years, but unfortunately, the Ouija boards that you can get today are so Hollywood that they don't even have the right parts. You know what I mean? DMC, am I a devil worshiper? No, I am not. I don't even believe in the devil, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't believe in such a thing. I have a different understanding of the concept of like demons and angels and good and evil and all that. Something that's far, far different than probably a lot of you believe. And that comes from studying. That comes from studying a lot of this stuff for so very long. Aline, I believe the devil is what an individual makes. You know what I mean? If somebody is doing something and they're saying they're doing the devil's work, they probably are doing the devil's work according to their concept or understanding of the devil. But you have to remember that I always stress this to a lot of people. I tell you that if you want to learn the truth about a lot of these things, these religious ideas and concepts, you really have to dig deep in the past. You have to study the origins of all these things, and you'll come to find out that, wow, man, this is something that's totally contradictory to what I've been taught my entire life. You know? So it's just, is there bad people in the world? Is there people that honestly believe that they're worshiping and serving some dark evil force and they'll do things to appease that dark evil force? Of course, absolutely. I would be a fool and a liar if I told you that such people don't exist, because they're out there. They are out there. There are some very sick and dark-minded, dark-hearted people that are out there that are using this kind of stuff to hurt and harm people. There are a lot of people out there like that, my friends. And I will be the first one to tell you that they exist all around us. But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing about that. Some of these people are your average, everyday, run-of-the-mill people of faith. Some of these people that are in the church, for example, look at the Dark Ages, look at the Middle Ages in Europe. Hardcore, pious Christian people burning innocent people at the stake just because they didn't agree with their beliefs. They were Jews, they were Muslims. They would burn them at the stake. A good book that I would recommend that any of you should read is called The Inquisitor's or the Grand Inquisitor's Manual. If you can find a copy of that book, read it. It'll appall you. Literally, pogroms designed and funded and orchestrated by the church in Europe. It was like a day, it was like the purge. You have one day that's legal to kill as many Jews as you can kill, and they called them pogroms. There was even one story that was in there. Now, tell me if this is not evil. There was one story that was in there that said when the knights were going off, the Crusaders, the Crusader knights for the Pope were going off to the Holy Land, that some woman was chasing after some fair lady, was running after some knight that she was in love with, and she had a pet goose. And the pet goose started quack, 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 running after her. Everybody in the town looked at it, looked at the goose, looked at the woman and said, this is a sign for God. And what did they do? They went out and killed over 1,000 Jews. Some lady who was a widow, she had a winery. And one day this member of the Inquisitors, or somebody that was close to the Inquisitors, he had a winery right next to hers. Well, one day all his wine spoiled. All of his wine spoiled, and hers didn't. So what did they do? They burned her at the stake because they said she was a witch. So the point I'm trying to make to you is that there are evil people that wear the cloth. There are evil people that wear a kufi. They're evil people that wear the orange Buddhist or yellow Buddhist robes. They're evil people in all walks of life, all religions, all ways, and all beliefs. That is the point I'm trying to make to all of you, is that just because somebody says that they're a Christian or a Muslim doesn't mean that they don't serve a dark force. Let that sink in, everybody, because that is the truth. I mean, geez, think of what happened in Mexico and in South and Central America. Why do you think the Aztec civilizations, the Mayans, or the Aztecs more, the Incas, why do you think they all went extinct? Because the conquistadors or the Spaniards believed that these civilizations were servants of the devil. So they killed every man, woman, and child in these places. They even killed a lot of Native American tribes because they said that they worship the earth, so they're worshiping the devil. So they killed the whole civilization behind that. Aline, I've heard about that. I don't believe they were possessed. I believe they were just sexual deviants that just so happened to be part of the church. I think people try to use the possession thing. There's a TV show that was on Netflix some time ago. Somebody was telling me about it, but I haven't watched Netflix in some time. I just, after the whole cuties thing. But anyways, there's a show on Netflix called Evil. Are you guys familiar with that? So Evil, it's basically some investigators from the church that are trying to determine if some people are experiencing possession or just mental illness. So that's one of the things that you have to understand and take into consideration is some of these people, are they actually really possessed by something, or do they have a whole lot of mental illness going on? Jason Williams, what do you want to know about the Kabbalah? I got some people telling me that the Kabbalah is evil. If people actually knew what the Kabbalah was, and all Kabbalah means in the Hebrew tongue just means knowing, has really nothing to do with any kind of demonic forces. It's basically all the Kabbalah is kind of like a metaphysical, it's more of a scientific breakdown of the Torah according to how everything works according to metaphor and gematria and all these different things. I don't know how that got all wound into evil devil worship, to be perfectly honest with you. But the one thing that I can tell you is this. There's a book of commentaries that Jewish rabbis will read, and it's called the Midrash. And if any of you are on here that are of Jewish descent, you would know what I'm talking about. Midrash is like Jewish commentaries, and they had there was two rabbis that were traveling into a town, a Roman town, and they were in a bathhouse, and the people outside were trying to boil them by turning the heat up real high. And these rabbis had summoned a demon called a Sha'ed. And the Sha'ed demon was pouring cold water in there to keep them from dying. There's also one story somewhere, it's in, I don't know if it's in the Zohar, if it's in the Midrash itself, that talks about how, what's that guy's name that came over from, but he was helping Solomon form the temple, and Solomon used like a Sha'ed demon, a silkworm demon, to actually cut the stones for the temple. So the thing about Judaism has a very different take on what demons and angels and stuff are than the Christians do. The Christians' concept of demons and angels are more Greek-centric. They're more Western-centric, like Roman Greek-centric, as opposed to the Middle Eastern, like Islamic and Jewish concept of demons and angels are more, relative to like Middle Eastern or Persian. Two totally different. Even in Hinduism and stuff, like demons and angels and stuff, they have like different roles. They're so different. Yeah. But you know what I always tell people? I tell everybody this. I tell people, don't knock me for my beliefs. I won't knock you for your beliefs. I believe that everybody's entitled to follow a spiritual path according to how their soul responds to the spiritual path itself. It's just like people that eat food. Some people can't eat red meat. They can't stand it. I love red meat personally. Some people, it's just whatever your body, whatever your soul, what your spirit says, how it speaks to you through the things that, as long as you are not doing harm to people, because you have to understand that you do harm to anybody, expect that same harm to be done to you. Well, see, Moreno, there's nothing in regards to worshiping anything. You know what I mean? I got to tell you a fun fact. Did you guys know that in the earliest stages of Christianity that it was regarded as a cult? Christianity was looked at as a cult in its early years. It was looked at as being very demonic and very very satanic. I don't know if you guys know that or not, but yeah. In the minds of the Jewish world and even in the Roman world, the Christians were regarded as being dark forces of the devil. Now, they weren't really calling it the devil. They called it something else, but that's what they called it. That's why the Romans were crucifying them. That's why the Romans were having them killed in Colosseums and places like that. You had people that when they came out with the Eucharist, this is my body, this is my blood. There were people that whole Eucharist thing of taking in the bread and the wine was actually looked at as being cannibalistic in the minds of the Greek and the Roman world. How did this motherfucker get past this fucking... But yes. 80s baby, it says, according to belief, according to if you're a Christian, according to faith, it says that Jesus was crucified by the Romans. But the funny thing about that whole thing is this, right? So they say, like, if you read in the book of Acts, it said that it was in the book of Luke, and it was in Acts as well. They said that they hung him on a tree. Okay? They said that the Sanhedrin hung him from a tree. Now, let me tell you something about the Sanhedrin law at the time. The Sanhedrin was the court of law that the Sadducees had basically convicted Jesus. And it says that when somebody is regarded as being a rebellious son, or somebody that's been regarded as rebelling against Hashem or God, then that person must be stoned and hung from a tree and then buried above ground. So you can, like Jews bury their bodies below ground, the person must be buried above ground. So if you know anything about the story in the Gospels and whatnot, it says that Jesus was taken down from the cross like within some hours, and at nighttime or whatever, he was put in a tomb above ground. So that sounds a lot like they stoned him, hung him from a tree before nightfall, cut him down, put him in a tomb above ground. I mean, a lot of people will argue that would have been what takes place during those times under that law. But you guys, like I said, everybody has their beliefs, and I don't argue religion with anybody. I believe that if you're doing good work and you basically have respect and love for your neighbor like you love and respect yourself, then yeah. Yeah, the Babylonian Talmud is kind of different. It's not the same as the other Talmud. I think what's mostly referred to as the Egyptian Talmud. But yeah, the Babylonian Talmud is probably more closer to Zoroastrianism than anything else. But anyways, let me just say that I love each and every one of you, and I respect each and every one of you's views. But don't think that I'm a person that worships the devil or anything like that, because I don't. If I was into that kind of stuff, I would tell you. You should already know that I speak my mind and I don't sugarcoat nothing. What's up, Dog Pound 24/7? What's cracking, my boy? I see you out there. I don't worship anything like that. I don't really see the point in doing that, So, but nonetheless, I don't really condemn anybody that worships or practices any form of spirituality, because it's not for me to condemn. It's not for me to judge you. I think it says somewhere in the Bible, judge not, for these shall be judged the same. But yet a lot of people seem to forget about that part. In the Bible, it says, do not judge, because you will be judged the same exact way. Exactly, Jesus said that. Judge not, for these shall be judged the same. So who am I to tell any of you that you're wrong? It's not for me to decide, and it's not for any of you to decide either. That's between that individual and God alone. And that's just what I believe. So I don't judge people. I don't, I got friends that follow all kinds of different paths, as you guys know. I got a lot of shit for bringing my buddy on here, and I still got people that give me crap over that. But just because he believes that doesn't mean that I believe that. Just saying he was a good guy as far as his personality, as far as him being a person in general. He was a really good dude. Did I agree with his do I agree with his religious beliefs and everything? I mean, I have a lot of friends that believe all different kind of ways. I got friends that are Muslims. I got friends that are Moorish Science Temple Christians, Mormons, Jews, people that are into Native American nature-based like religious practices that are commonly referred to as paganism, like Sweat Lodge and the colors of the four directions and Mother Earth and Grandfather and all that stuff, and commonly referred to as Wonka Tonka and all that stuff. You know what I mean? It's a lot of people would say that's demonic. I don't see it as being demonic at all. I've been in sweat lodges and stuff, and I've been around Native American ceremonies and powwows and stuff like that. There's nothing demonic about it. Nothing at all. So yeah, I study pretty much everything. Study a lot of legal stuff as well. I'm just interested in everything. Santa Muerte, I know a couple of people that are involved in that as well. don't agree with it, but the people that are involved in it, I like them very much. I got a lot of love for them. Actually, my homie Bird, one of the homies that was with me at Florence, he was big time into Santa Muerte. He had all that stuff all over his cell and everything, man. I love the dude to death, man. And I'd have that dude's back, and that dude would have my back at the drop of a hat. Do I agree with his religious practices? It's like I said, that's between him and whoever is in control of his creation, you know? Simple as that, people. So, just to let you guys know that I don't condemn, nor do I condone, nor do I practice anything that's negative or has a negative impact upon other people's lives. But I do have a spiritual grounding, and my spiritual grounding is something very personal. It's something I don't really like to talk about much because it's my personal faith and it's my personal walk. Are you ghost hunting alone, Eileen? Nope. My niece is going to be there, and probably a couple other people are going to be there. I'm trying to hopefully get my boy Wong Lam, the guy I did that New Year's special with, to do it with me. And now he's Buddhist, so he's not afraid of these kind of spiritual these ghost type things either. But anyways, guys, I just wanted to hang out with you for about 30 minutes and stuff. I'm going to be going to bed here pretty soon. What's cracking, Steve Borelli? George Gonzalez, how do you join the PBR car? You're here. You're in it. What's up, Captain Napton? Captain Napton, did you hear that I talked to Brittany yesterday? A lot of things that she told me that I had no idea was going on in her life. Yeah, I apologized to her for being harsh with her and stuff. You know, I told her, hey, I thought you were on board with that, with what Savage was doing and all that bullshit. So I told her that I apologize and I wish her all the best of luck. She told me quite a lot of things that dude was doing, and I've heard quite a lot of things that dude was doing, and I still to this day don't understand how people can follow that, man. But hey, once again, like I said, you guys are free to follow anybody you want. Virtuous LA Spartan, thank you very much. No, he's not a nice person at all. Yet people are still defending that guy like if he's one of the apostles of the Westphalic Church. You know what I mean? I just don't understand it. Like it's one of my main peeves, I guess. And I've done a lot to practice a lot of self-control and restraint of late. But I sit there and I watch how people just worship some of these people that are just so fake and phony and narcissistic and self-centered that I don't really get it. I just don't understand it. But everybody needs a hero, I guess. But in reality, does somebody need to sing that fucking Tina Turner song? We don't need another hero. We don't need to know the way home. All we want, we got the Thunderdome. Yeah. We really don't need another hero. I don't need a hero. Do you guys need a hero? I really hope not. Be your own hero. Embrace your man boobs. You know what I'm saying? Because let me tell you something about optics and physical appearance. Millions and even probably billions of dollars are invested and spent on people trying to make their bodies look acceptable to the naked eye and to acceptable to the mainstream and Hollywood belief of beauty is somebody with muscles and somebody with curves and somebody with a fucking silicone ass and all that stuff like that. But guess what? You can have the best body in the world. You can have the biggest penis. You can have the biggest boobs. You can have all those things and still be unhappy. You know what I mean? When people try to sell me this so-called positive message of focusing only on the physical body, I have to ask those people this question. This question I have to ask those people. And it kind of goes back to what we were talking about, a little bit about spiritual matters. What good is having a perfect physical body if you have no spirit? Can anybody tell me that? What's good in being muscular, toned, and tanned, and beautiful and shiny and happy when your spirit is not on par with your body? The unbalance is so obvious in just your attitude. You could be the most beautiful person physically, and you could be the most disgusting, miserable human being on the inside. How many people know somebody who's got an awesome body, but they're a miserable person? I know a whole bunch of those kind of people. So when I got people that try to talk about you're a failure, you're a disgrace, you got man boobs, you can't take your shirt off at the beach, all that kind of stuff. You need to spend more time in the gym. I got people that talk about that kind of stuff. Everything that they're saying is focused on physical appearance, the acceptable model for other people to worship you. But your spirit, your mind is fucked up. You have no connection with anything that is like extra cosmic. You have nothing that is basically like virtues and goodness within yourself, because everything is all about the physical, naked eye view. I've known some really beautiful women that are less than perfect. I've known some really awesome men that have carried some extra weight on their body their whole entire lives. I've known some really shitty fucking people that have a very, very well defined and built up body. Believe you me. Materialistic with no substance is exactly right, C. Moreno. Amen to that. I love it, man. I love it when people talk about how great it is that, you know, you build up your body, but your mind is still like a fucking the size of a peanut. Dopey football or basketball? We already talked about the Raiders. That's the only team that we talk about. The Raiders is the only team that should be talked about right now. Yeah, you could build the body and the mind's supposed to follow, but that doesn't happen very often. If the person has to build the mind and the body together, pretty much. You have to build your mind and your body simultaneously. You can't just build up your body and leave your mind all fucking in disarray. Jason Williams, I'm glad. It happens. I'm not saying it don't happen. I know some people that are fat and lazy and they're miserable people too. I mean, it works all the way around. It's just all about this. Let's talk about them Raiders, though, Dopey. I don't know what happened with the Cardinals, but I could tell you what the Raiders did today. If anybody didn't see the Raiders-Chiefs game, let me tell you what happened. The Las Vegas Raiders, very young, very inexperienced defensive line, showed the entire NFL how you shut down Mahomes. That's what they did today. They showed you how you get in Mahomes' head. You fill that backfield up with people, you get all bases covered, and you rush that line right at that quarterback every time. Because the one thing that Mahomes has been blessed with having is a line that has not figured out a way to keep him happy and comfortable in the back to where he didn't ever have to step out of the pocket and move around and go on the move too much. But this Raiders defense showed how you get rid of Mahomes. YouTuber, thank you for the $4.99. I appreciate that. Hellcat, football's weird to you, huh? So I'm thinking that the Raiders, if they continue this trend, will probably be a pretty damn good football team next year. But anyways, everybody, I want to give a shout out to my good friend, Mr. Scott T. Budd, who's been rocking with this channel for some time now, who always sends me letters, interesting stuff in my P.O. box. This guy has been on every single live. I don't see him in here right now, but I'm having, for some reason, I can only see only a few people on here. It's only showing me like 10 people are on, but yet 113 people are on. So there's a lot of people that are hidden in here, I guess. But anyways, I want to give Scott T. Budd a shout out. Let him know that the PBR car loves him as well as I do, and we always appreciate his insight, and sometimes he does get under some people's skins, but I always tell people that's just his personality, and we embrace everybody's personalities as long as you ain't too overly offensive. But I need to get out of here. I gotta go and go to bed. I've already just show you. I already popped my melatonin. And I'm going to be doing some sleepy poo right now because I got a long day at work tomorrow and I got to go meet these people from the newspaper tomorrow morning. So wish me luck, everybody. And I will let you guys know when that article drops so you can go check it out. This guy, he's doing a pretty damn good article. But anyways, love you guys. You guys have a great Sunday evening. If you're going to work tomorrow, if tomorrow's your Monday, enjoy it. Gabriella, yes, it's been a wonderful live, and I always look forward to talking to all you guys and listening to you. But until next time, peace and prosperity to all of yous. Have a great night.